Is it fair for me, 32M, to reach out to my ex, 35 female, before I die? Note: a couple weeks ago, I posted this on another relationship subreddit, but I think it was removed quickly because it involved a breakup. Too long did not read. I am looking for advice, input on whether it would be fair to reach out to an ex. We broke up due to my job and my lack of energy, before I die of cancer. I have stage 4 pancreatic cancer. I've mostly come to terms with the fact I am likely to die from said cancer, and somewhat soon. And yes, I know I should be fighting, and I am still in treatment. However, based on what my doctors say and discounting any miracle developments in medicine, I don't think I have all that much longer. A bummer, to be sure. That being said, I am also a sentimental and regret-filled human being, and I can't help but wonder if there's any catharsis to be had in reconnecting with an ex of mine. This ex is not my most recent girlfriend, or the one I was with the longest, but she was the only one I ever thought I could live the rest of my life with. We met at a very inopportune time, while very drunk and lonely at a birthday party of a mutual friend. I had just taken on a bunch more work, and was hitting my stride as an attorney. She was already settled into her job as a vet tech, and looking to settle down into a healthy relationship. We had a very loving, but troubled, relationship for a little less than 2 years, which ended about a year and a half ago. As my workload got increasingly full, it became more and more apparent that I was not what she needed. I would never be able to be the supportive, attentive partner when I was constantly stressing about my own work or traveling for depositions. I knew this, but rather than being an adult and addressing that fact head-on, I acted like everything would be fine. She was tired of me not having enough energy to do the bare minimum for our relationship. Even my sex drive had fallen through the floor during the worst weeks, just from the sheer stress and anxiety. Despite her attempts to coax me into attending therapy, I dismissed the idea, as I didn't have the time. It seemed true at the time, but looking back now, it was bullshit. Rightfully recognizing that I was not putting the amount of work necessary into the relationship, she laid out an ultimatum. Either I devote more time, energy to self-care and the relationship, or she'd have to leave. I told her that I didn't think I could devote any more of myself to anything but work. I considered myself in survival mode, while I paid off the most predatory of my student loan debt. She didn't like my answer, but we agreed to go our separate ways. We talked a few times after that, mostly around our birthdays and holidays. Looking back, not investing in that relationship is my biggest regret. The ones that came after that seemed hollow. I don't think I ever loved someone the way I loved her. I want to let her know that, and maybe reconnect for these last few months. I also recognize that is a very selfish impulse. I'm looking for input here. What would you do in my place? In hers, would you want to know? Edit. Because I was a little bit vague about my intentions, I wouldn't want to do anything but reach out and let her know how much the relationship meant to me, and how much I regret letting it break down. I wouldn't expect her to come see me, or keep regular contact. I've since moved back in with my parents, in another state, while I was in treatment, so I don't think it would be plausible to strike up a relationship again, and I don't expect to. As you still have contact through texts, I would give her the information through text. Inform her about your situation, and say that you want to thank her for the relationship, and that you regret how it went. But that you want to inform her and say goodbye. Wish her well. Through the reaction unfolds what will unfold. She can choose then what to do. Just a text back, call, or come by. Don't ask for anything, just say goodbye. Had an ex recently pass away unexpectedly. Affected me more than I expected. You still have time to say your final words. You have nothing to lose at this point, and if you were my ex, I think I'd want to hear from you. I reached out to an ex when my dog unexpectedly passed away because he loved her too and they spent a lot of time together. I felt he deserved to know, and it was nice to share her memory with someone who loved her too. I don't think it's out of pocket to reconnect, if only to say I regret what happened and I wish things had worked out differently. I'm sorry about your diagnosis, Op. I hope you can make the rest of your time meaningful in a way that gives you peace. What do you know about her current situation? Is she in a relationship or something of that sort? Children? It's not selfish to put out feelers to your mutuals, but you don't want to come crashing into her life for your own comfort. Which brings me to my next thought. I'm so sorry you are dealing with this and that your time with this might no be as long as it should be. Please place a lot of energy into your self-care, into healing relationships with people who are currently in your life, like your friends and family. Make the most of the people who will be hurt the most when you're gone. Old girlfriends will move on no matter your diagnosis, but your family will not, or at least not in the same way. She texted you out of the blue to wish you well. She still holds you warmly in her heart. She absolutely would want you to reach out to say goodbye. Sure, go for it. Husband M38 says I'm 34 FM white trash? I'm dealing with a very odd and strange thing my husband said and can't seem to pinpoint what he is trying to project. I'm a white woman, work as a nurse, am kind and compassionate. I am very respectful as I was raised well and am courteous of others. I have good social awareness and know how to act decently. I don't give off a white trash attitude or speak in ghetto ways. I am well respected in my work and mostly by others who know me, but recently I can't pinpoint it, but my husband has lost respect for me. I know it's common for men to do this, but I feel like he has hidden hatred for me and just wants to tear me down. Long story short, I had a patient that I took care for about a year and I got her wound to heal. We spent much time with one another. She is Hispanic, born in Mexico, her daughters are well established and one is a Harvard graduate. The family has been nothing but kind to me, and have not shown any issues with my race, color, etc. My husband is also Hispanic, born in Mexico and came here at 8 months old. I went to visit that patient today and we caught up like old times. When I got home today, my husband asked me how my visit was and I said it was great. He then proceeded to say if I hadn't been her nurse and I approached them out in public, they would treat me or look at me as white trash beneath them because Hispanics don't like white women. Those were his exact words. I don't find this to be true, but I found it quite alarming and out of the blue that he would have such a thought in his mind. I don't know how to handle the disrespect. Hispanics don't like white women? Why the fuck are you with me then? Are you saying your family secretly doesn't like me? Are you saying you secretly don't like me? I'd play hysterical and make him explain himself. My husband has lost respect for me. I know it's common for men to do this. Hashtag FALSE. I'm going to go out on a limb here and assume that he is the reason you believe this to be true. How utterly toxic. I would straight up ask him what he's thinking if I chose to stay with someone like this. Ultimately, I would not want to invest my energy into maintaining a relationship that has these sort of norms. Proceeded to say if I hadn't been her nurse and I approached them out in public, they would treat me or look at me as white trash beneath them because Hispanics don't like white women. Those were his exact words. This is so fucking stupid. I can't even imagine what is going on in the brain of someone who had to think up something so utterly unbelievable. You can handle the disrespect by leaving your insanely weird and bizarrely prejudiced husband. His racism is leaking. You don't handle it. Condescension is an absolute no from me. He's surprised that decent people exist. Makes sense because he isn't one. How do I, 40 female, deal with the secret my husband, 45 male, told me? How do I, 40 female, deal with the secret my husband, 45 male, told me? I have been married for 15 years and have one child with my husband. We had good intimacy to start with, but this dwindled over the years and it was quite a miracle our son was conceived. Sex didn't seem hugely important to our relationship, so I never pushed it even though I wanted more. A few months ago, we started talking about how my husband felt confused and different. He's been coming to understand himself as neurodivergent in recent years, and it's made him re-evaluate his whole life from a new perspective. This includes his attitudes to sex. During this conversation, he confessed to me that he has certain feelings. The kind I consider completely inappropriate. These are just feelings, he's never acted on it and never will. He doesn't like that he has these feelings and thoughts, but he does. When I asked about his have sex previously, he told me he was able to do it because he wanted kids, he wanted a family. I don't know how to deal with this. I feel sick. I've spent the last few months trying to find a way to move forward with this. Not only do I feel lies to our entire relationship, that the intimacy I thought we had was motivated by desire for a family, but I cannot go over the feelings he says he does have. Even if he has and will never act on them. I can't talk to anyone about it. I'm too scared how it will impact my son and I don't have any proof anyway. I don't know what I'm expecting from this post. I don't think there is a magical answer. But if anyone has anything helpful to say, please help me. It's hard to give any input when there's zero information on what you deem to be completely inappropriate. If he wants to be in the ass, or does he want to children? Those are two different things. One would require you to learn about pegging, and the other one would require you to sever ties and protect your child. Considering you don't say what it is, we can't give advice that would actually work. Inappropriate or would be illegal? That's a difference, but either way intimacy between both of you is pretty much off the table now. Can you live with that? To those asking me to clarify what the secret is, I daren't even write it on here. Put it this way, I am a very kinky bi person and would never shame anyone for their kinks, even if they weren't something I personally like. His turn on is illegal and age inappropriate. I have an idea about what this secret is, but I'm still not 100% sure what you're looking for here. If it is what I think you're alluding to, which I sincerely hope it isn't, then I would take steps towards leaving him, to be honest. If he has desires that would be harmful, e.g. wanting to rape, attraction to children, then he needs to seek therapy ASAP. ASAP. Find someone who specializes in that. You also need to be deadly open and honest with yourself about the risk and protect yourself and anyone else who might be at risk. My dad, 56M, said I'm 32F, embarrassing for having a small wedding. My fiancé and I have decided to have a small intimate wedding with 20 people as we wanted to save money for a house and a honeymoon rather than spend it on a large wedding. We are inviting parents, siblings, a couple of close family friends, and that's it. My dad said that I am selfish for not having a large wedding where he can invite his friends and all the cousins, aunts and uncles because the wedding isn't about me, it's about him giving his daughter away. He said he doesn't even want to come to my wedding because his friends won't be in attendance. He said it's embarrassing. He offered to give some money towards a large wedding, but it wouldn't have paid for the whole thing, and my fiancé and I decided we just didn't want the drama of a large wedding, and I partially knew why my dad was offering to pay. I'm giving you money so I can invite who I want. It makes me want to cancel the micro wedding and just elope, me and my fiancé. My entire family keeps throwing it in my face that it's not a real wedding. That a wedding is not about the couple's marriage but about the family. Even went as far as saying a marriage isn't just between the couple but it's the family as well. I am no longer even excited about the wedding now. I was excited to share this day with some of our close family and friends. Now I'd rather just elope. What can I do to explain to my dad that this is not an okay thing to say to me? Looks like your dad is a narcissist. Sorry to hear that. Have your small wedding and fuck everyone who disagrees. You're being smart and logical. You're going to have to agree to disagree, he won't understand. Just elope. If that's how your family feels, have a really, really small wedding. No one's stopping you all from throwing a big party for your friends. But that's not what this wedding's about. And I don't know why you think threats and insults will make us upset if you decide not to come, much less why you think it'll get you what you want. Or you could just go with, well, that's your opinion, but this isn't up for discussion, and make whatever plans you want to make, including elopement. But don't let other people's tantrums decide that for you. Your dad's a real jackass for thinking a wedding's all about him, but hey, maybe he'll learn when his own kids want small celebrations. Don't let his negativity ruin your special day, it's time to shine. Plan that perfect little party you've always wanted, and show him what really matters. P.S. Love the idea of eloping. I'd really hit the road with my hubby for a secret ceremony, just us against the world. Tell him to quit acting like a bridezilla. Your father is insulting you while disguising it as his opinion, so are any of your family members who are trying to shame you. Why should you try to please people like that? Of course it sucks for your family to let you down in such a massive way, but it also shows you who really cares about and who would be delighted to share in whatever kind of wedding you have. My family flew across the country to see me marry my husband in a courtroom on a Wednesday afternoon, then we went out for Chinese food. There were 20 of us all told and we had a blast.